Hello, everybody. How you doing? Oh, Lord, I have to make sure my hair is right. How y'all doing? Welcome to the channel. Too close today. Hey, tweet out the room. Oh, guess who's here? Hey, Kara. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. I forgot to tweet out. I forgot to tweet out the room. Hey, what's up with you? How you doing?
Doing okay.
What's up? You look like you've been playing baseball today, ma'am.
Just the shirt.
It looks like a baseball shirt. Oh my goodness.
It is. It's just a comfy shirt.
Where am I? I forgot where I was going. It's been a day. Oh my gosh. Was you on the Telegram? Was you on the TG?
I didn't get on until about 4 o'clock, so I don't know. Yeah, I also had a day, but I was in the TG, but not until later. So.
Okay, hold on, let me see.
Well, here we get a lot of news. So.
I know.
Stuff.
Lots of stuff. But what do you call it? Pablo just nailed it. That's what I was saying. We was in there to hear him talk, right? Kara. Uh-oh.
Yeah. We were talking.
Huh?
You there?
Is it my internet or is it? I don't know what's going on. You froze on me. I'm like, oh, snap. I don't know what's going on. Is it me?
I don't know. I've been Bob. I don't know. Mine's been Bob Netty too. So.
Hey,
I can see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see you, hear you now. If you just went like you just froze up on me. So okay.
Like freezing, freeze.
Oh my God. Okay. I actually had Twitter pulled up. I was trying to be proactive today. But Pablo went live at 3. And so he was just, talking about the partnership and stuff. So it was just super bullish. This is just, I'm kind of lost for words and in part for real. So I really haven't had much to say today because it's like, wow, this is just the beginning of something crazy.
So for those of us that may not have caught the full story, from what I understand, OKX wallet is now integrating with Multi-Change. Is that how they
Yes.
partnered together now? In just a few clicks, if you're in your OKX wallet, you can now access Multi-Change through their wallet.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Is that not bullish?
That's ridiculously bullish. They trust us enough to add functionality within their wallet. What do you think's next?
That's the question. Okay. We got our other guest here. Gonna bring him on up. Hey, Volcano.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Kira.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I think it's the first time I'm with Kira in the same chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my lucky day.
We're just talking about the OKX Web3 and Volti change.
Oh yeah, I haven't been able to uh, look into it much today. I've been running around so busy. I just got on this computer, so I'm trying to catch up to you ladies.
We're just trying to catch up ourselves, but it's been so much. It listening to really listening to Pablo today has really just got me even more super bullish because in the chat, I mean, you weren't in the chat, were you,
Yeah,
Volcano?
I was listening. I was listening
Okay.
to him. It's I was messing with him, told him he better watch out. Boltoshi is gonna ban him for 30
Oh
minutes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You were there. Yeah.
I I let bullish uh messages, what he was throwing out, and it's
Yeah,
right on point.
it's way on point. So if this is the beginning, and then Vitosi, just let me read this because I feel like that it's so much stuff. I really wanted to, and I also wanted to. So just so you know, Kira, touch bases on uh, Bitcoin and stuff like because we haven't really had. Well, I haven't had a chance to really talk about it. So I want to talk about that a little bit as well. Bitcoin and the banks. So not throwing you off, but oh yeah, let me find what I was looking for. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Okay. Not to read his letter. He says, unless you're living under a rock, you probably know there's something going on. You probably know there's something coming. The only question that I would ask myself is whether it is something or whether it is the start of something, which gave me pause. So is it something or is it the start of something? Look like we're starting something. So just like a year ago, many of you are probably wondering what's going on, wondering whether it's worth paying attention, wondering if something you only dare to dream about can happen. We all know the story from there. What happens as soon as you have that gut feeling? You know, you know. One person gets in, then another one, then things start moving. Anticipation starts building. More people jump in. The more it moves, the more it becomes real and can't be ignored. Then, when the day finally comes, you realize everything was just kept on hold, and all those people who were still hesitating just got confirmation. Although I'll try to keep all these things on hold as much as I can till then, there's probably going to be some hints on the way telling you the real things are around the corner. He said the real things. Hmm. So I won't answer the main question today, but for all those people who always ask for some math, just know that numbers will start adding up in the coming hours and days. That's for sure. And then hours and days. He's
What do you
showing
think,
out.
Kira?
Yeah. Like, for one, I think Voltoshi's had a lot of this stuff strategized and planned. I think he's had like this really long roadmap built, and we've just seen the very tip of it, like very beginning of it. So I think there's a lot more to come. That's going to be insane, to be honest. So, and I think kind of he's hinting at it, right? We feel like we've been here for a while. We feel like there's been a lot of stuff going on, and that he's delivered a whole bunch of stuff because we've been here for a while. And I think in his mind, this is just the start of stuff, like you said. So I'm excited. I'm bullish. I can't wait. I can't wait to see. So
The fact what okay, they were talking earlier, and the things that kind of stood out to me was, of course, us just doing the bridge of Polygon, and I didn't know they were in the top 10 as well. And then us also being in partnership with Chainlink already, because somebody asked a fuddy question, like when Chainlink. And just the different partnership. I look at the different partnerships that, the bigger partnerships that we already have. And so to I mean, we can only go up. So I'm like, come on, Binance. The Congo. I'm still trying to figure out the Congo. The Congo. What do you think, Volcano?
I think it's probably one of the biggest, some of the biggest tier ones that move in Africa. I'm bullish on Kraken, maybe Binance, Crypto.com, those three. That's just my take. What do you think, Kira?
Marketing to different parts of the world. Yeah. Can you hear me?
That answer, and I also remember, was it the president of Kenya recommending his people to take their money out, you know, US dollar. There's something massive I think is brewing in the background. I think there's over 140 something countries trying to pull out of using the US dollars to, to pay different things. So uh, there's a lot going on in the background that we probably not seeing. What I do think for a fact is there's a lot of changes coming in the economies of the world. There's maybe hybrid mergers, because I do think for a fact that we cannot continue down this road printing money out thin air. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up to us. And Ladybug, if you was listening to Michael Saylor, he goes back all the way to the Roman Empire. Every 100+ years, every empire, every country that have used currencies, sooner or later, that's one of their pitfall. I would even go as far as the Israelite, Solomon. Remember, Solomon, scripture said he was the smartest, the wisest man. But even the wisest man, he reached to a point where he was overtaxing his people. So there's and because of that, and
Is that me?
is say, okay, we're gonna double your taxes.
Okay, no, you're breaking
So I
up
do
just a
think
little
that
bit.
they.
I thought it was,
It's like, is that me?
you got Bob P. You got Bob P.
You got a little Bob internet going on there, Volcano.
We have Bob lurking around. But yeah, I do think there's a lot of changes coming because countries and even individuals seeing that this second bank failure, and they said it's pretty much the same banks.
But see,
That
the thing with that, when I looked up, I mean, I didn't do much research, but I did do a little bit more on that. As we will talk about that. Okay, so I hear I looked up, banks failing, and right now there's there's 186 banks right now that are in jeopardy. Right now, we only have I think it said 4,700, 4,775, whatever, 4,775. I'm saying it backwards. Banks in the United States. When we started in 1921, it was 30,000. And so now, I mean, it's just a drastic decrease in them, you know. So
They're all buying each other up, and it's going to be like one conglomerate after.
You're
going to have a bunch of the little ones eaten up again by some big ones.
That's what they're trying to do. In listening to that Michael Saylor thing too, that's what one of the parts he was talking about as far as land cure. He was talking about how the wealthy, the ones I guess from a long time ago, bought all the land, and so they just keep it from generation to generation to generation. They'll never, lose that. But what they do is they go out and I think Power, somebody hit on that too. They go out and they keep raising taxes on people's property that they want. So that family, they get tired and they don't want to pay the property taxes and they lose the property. So it's crazy. But it's far what do you call it? Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, $150 million in Bitcoin was purchased. So
Yeah, and the way he did it was very clever.
how do you do it, Volcano?
Borrow money from the bank, get a 22% discount, buy this Bitcoin, and just pay off the loan. So it's a win-win situation.
But how did he buy it? I was listening, I was in on another chat today. And so he bought it. What did he do? Put in limit orders or something to buy so it wouldn't, so that nobody could really tell, like, well,
I didn't dig deep into the way he did it. I just read, that the amount he bought. Pretty much he used what we call in real estate, other people's money. And that's the way how rich people do. They don't use their money, their capital. They use their money, other people's money, borrow money from the bank, do business, pay it back. So that was a pretty good deal. He had what, 6,400 Bitcoin. Now he's sitting on billions. Imagine when Bitcoin hit, what, maybe 60 grand.
But his story from where he went from thinking Bitcoin was nothing until when he actually got it, and how now he says it's gold. It's like the gold, and then also it's the interesting point that I was listening today. He was like, it's property. It's like you own property.
Yes, he considered, which I agree with him on that, is Bitcoin is not a currency. Bitcoin is pretty much an asset. An asset over time, it appreciate. And because Bitcoin is what, only 21 million, there will never be, you cannot duplicate it, you can't add, you can't subtract. So pretty much based on what he said, it's the perfect asset for the world we're living in now. Because imagine printing money out thin here, and he gave many different examples of how countries have used currency, and sooner or later, he said, pretty much every 4 years, in this case, the U.S. printed money. And if you look back, when was the last time they printed billions of dollars and gave away supposedly free to the population? But almost 4 years ago. So the history repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
And if we notice what happened in 2008, that was the rise of Bitcoin. What's happening now? Same thing.
So
And
sorry, go ahead.
no, just to add is, I do think that people now are more savvy, more than 2008. So they seen what the government is doing. They seen what these banks are doing. I mean, actually, it's pretty much the same banks. And supposedly these banks, they said it was not going to happen again because they created all these layers of new regulation and new this and new that. But guess what? Pretty much the same banks finding the same thing. So they make a huge spectacle of which he deserved what he get. This, what's his name, from Terra Luna? They show him in prison. But the question is, how many of these CEOs from all these failed banks, how many of them in prison?
I don't think any of them will go to prison. They might get a slap in the hand and some fines, but
Oh, they're actually doing what you call it? They what's his name? Quando or Do Quan? What's his
Yeah,
name?
took one.
yeah, from Terra Luna. Yeah,
Yeah, they finally caught up to his butt the other day.
yeah, that's pretty good. But they should catch up to the butt of these other guys also.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. When we start talking about that, then we look at how they want to regulate things and see how the banks are right now, and how they're only covering certain people. They're not covering everybody. So what? I
look
mean,
on all these community banks. I like community banks and credit unions. I mean, who is bailing them out?
who they deem who? I mean, are they picking and choosing too? Because it's only just the investor. The who is it? It's not. Is it the investors getting their money? Or the ones that invested?
Yeah, it
In the
depends.
company?
Depends on the bank. It depends on the of it, right? So they didn't necessarily bail out Silicon Valley. They didn't bail them out. They took over and then liquidated their assets through auction.
Yeah,
But um, they kind of bailed out people who had assets at SVB, like the chain that trickled down. They kind of were going to bail out the people, the banks underneath that had deposits at SVB. So they are choosing to bail out some. They're not choosing to bail on all. I think with SVB, they said that was your problem. We're not going to bail you out. You obviously did. That was you, right? That's not necessarily a bailout if you're going to liquidate all their assets and auction off all their assets. But you do have other, and this is why I think it's more of a greedy thing. You think it's going to, like J.P. Morgan and other banks come in and they say they're helping you out, right, by giving you loans or coming in and like, I'll give you 5 billion, I'll give you 5 million, I'll give you 2 million, right? All the banks came together, but that's to protect their own butts, I think, right? That's just so we don't have a catastrophic systematic failure. And in
exactly.
addition to that, they now own a piece of that bank. So you don't think they're doing it out of charity, right? They're coming in and they're now having a vested interest at stake in these banks, and they're making sure that there's no catastrophic failure in the system. So, um, you know, Switzerland, for example, where Credit Suisse came in and gave them X amount of dollars, and then UBS came in and bought them out essentially, but they also bought them out with the bank giving them money. So they just got a really good deal. I mean, with the government giving them money, right? So the government's coming in and helping Credit Suisse out. UBS comes in and buys them out, and they just got X amount of dollars from the government for free for their purchase. So a lot of it's just systematic greed and people buying each other out essentially. So imagine going and buying a car and getting the government paying for 75% of it. I mean, that's a really good deal, right?
Yeah, I'm like that sounds
Yeah.
like a plan to me. Yeah.
Well, you see, Kira, you said the right word. Everything it boils down to greed.
Yeah.
But sad to say, it boils down to greed.
But the greedy, unfortunately, I don't think so, some of these banks never learned their lesson, right? Even in the 2008 crisis, you still have banks that survived that whole thing because of greed and because they were smart about how they manipulated the money and manipulated their balance sheets. They didn't fail. They survived, and they're the same. You get that same. A lot of regulations were put in place after that, but this is going to be a never-ending thing that we're facing.
Yeah, but you see, one of the biggest problem, and that's the reason why I think I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, crypto, but in this case, but project is, to me, as I said, the old is fighting the new. correct me if I'm wrong, but we're over what, $30+ trillion in debt. Who's gonna pay that out?
But
Now
we're
the
not in
same.
debt. That's what they say on paper. As much money as they, man, after listening to, sorry,
Yeah, I mean you're
after
right. That's what they
listening to
say.
this tax thing, Hal and them were talking about, I mean, you're getting taxed a whole dollar and some. Every time you're giving them a dollar, they're taxing you. How are we in debt when every time we're paying for stuff every day, online, wherever, and we're getting taxed over and over and over on the same money? How are we in debt?
Yeah, they're spending it faster than they can tax it.
You see, that's the problem. But I do think that one of the solution is what Michael Saylor is speaking about: crypto, Bitcoin. Now, Voltosha and his team is bringing so much solution to the market that is beautiful to me.
And
It's not just bringing out utility just to bring out. He's bringing out something for a problem to fix a problem. Mainly here in America, we love everything easy. So he's bringing utilities that could accommodate different scenarios. The Visa card.
it's not just crypto, but blockchain in general can solve a lot of these problems because blockchain provides transparency. Imagine all of your financial reports, all of your bookkeeping, whatnot, is on the blockchain. Super transparent. It would be hard to hide money. It would be hard. I mean, it would suck for people who are malicious, but it would be, really great for the government and for people who are invested in something, right?
Yep, I'm smiling. I'm sorry, Kira. I'm just laughing because what you're saying is in a perfect world, how we see it, it should be. But I assume right now maybe 60-70% of business out there, even banks, they don't want to show you their book.
No.
So the blockchain is not convenient for them.
Nope.
But as I said, history always repeats itself. They can't stop it. What they could do is just delay, but that's coming. That's the future. Because history, as I said, always repeats itself. Tesla, Nikola Tesla, they try to bury a lot of his discoveries. I mean, back in his days, I was reading a book not too long ago that said we as humanity, we are way behind technology. And if you look at it, it's true. Tesla, when he started to invent all these different inventions, I think was Rockefeller. If I'm mistaken, someone correct me. If I'm not mistaken, Rockefeller sponsored his what's the word? Sponsor his works. But when he discovered that what Tesla was doing is pretty much was gonna put his business out of business, because his job was supplying the states and the government. Remember back in those days, they would put all these poles to run the electric lights and all these different things. What Tesla was discovering was going to put him out of business. Say, hold on, wait a minute. No. He cut his fund and he tried to destroy Tesla. What he didn't know is that Tesla left all these plans and all these different information. And now they're discovering a lot of what he did, 40, 50, 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how far we would have been in technology-wise. Now coming to crypto, the currencies, as Michael Saylor said, throughout human history, currencies do not work. It works for a minute, but sooner or later, because of inflation, and he pointed specific time period, World One. I'm sorry, English sometimes get me confused.
World.
World War One, the Germany,
Yep.
they had to give up. Then World War Two, they had to what's his name? President had to move the dollar from the gold standard, and so on. So he gave specific point in time where currency do not work, and now he's putting our examples how the blockchain and Bitcoin is
But
one of the best invention that right now.
yeah, yep, yep.
I absolutely think it's going to be the next currency, and it's some form of digital. We're going to move to a form of digital currency. Period.
Yeah.
I think paper money is going to go away. Well, maybe not go away. But you're going to have digital assets very soon. But yeah, I mean, there's so many Imagine, I just wonder like how many technologies out there that have been suppressed because they replace coal or something, right? Or like fossil fuels, right? There's how many things in this world have been suppressed by the government or some entity because it'll benefit the world, but
it happens all the time.
Right. So I think this is one of those situations. I just think it will prevail in the end, digital currency.
Yeah, I do. I'm 100% in agreement with you, Kira. That, as I said, they could delay it, but it's inevitable sooner or later. Maybe not in our lifetime. We may not see 100% or 80% utilization, but it's coming. And I do think that for our kids, our grandkids, or whatever, we are positioned in the right time, and personally to me, in the right project. Because one thing is develop utilities or a project and just say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we got there. What's next? But with Poltosha and this project, I mean, he rolling out partnership, he rolling out utilities one behind the other. I mean, I assume he has so many things on his plate that we don't probably not even know is there. So that is what you have to keep ahead of the game, and that's something I think he's doing very, very well. John Maxwell, he said in business, what got you there will not keep you there. So if you reach to a point and say, hey, well, this was our goal. I know Kira is being in corporate America. In corporate America, you finish one goal, we're already thinking on the next quarter and 5 years down the line. We're not thinking, okay, we got there, we did this, okay, let's celebrate. So what's next? That's how businesses work. And I do think looking and Vault project from the business standpoint, he is on point.
No, I
mean,
agree.
just speaking about it gives me goosebumps.
That's what I was saying early on. I think Voltucci has had this planned out. In my business, what we would do would go in, and this is in consulting, right? You would go in and you would sit down with the client and you would develop a roadmap and a strategy for the next, 180 days, 3 years, 5 years, right? You would say, do now, do next, do later type of thing. And that kept us in the game because we would say, these are all the things you need to do and this is how we can help you. And I think he's already thought that through, right? He has this whole plan. He's already had it planned out. I already know it. He has this whole thing planned out. And I think he's really in tune with what's happening in the world, because I feel like he dropped some stuff that's just the timing of it is like, how'd you know that?
Yeah. I mean, Kira, and Ladybug is just like in anything. If what we probably could call inside information, not which in this case is not inside information, but Voltaire or his team are in business, you have to try to stay one step of the game. The way you stay one step of the game is having a good team around you. I read that what's his name, Henry Ford. They said he wasn't that bright. You know, the media, folk without he wasn't that bright in college, and he showed them. He said, "Okay, well, I'm not that bright. Well, ask me any question you want." And they brought in the media because they want to show that he's not that bright. And he said, "Ask me any question. Ask me any question, and I'll answer you." They try to find, you know how they do. They try to find that tricky question. Or he's not gonna know this question. He said, "Okay, that's the question." He said, "Okay, just give me a minute." He picked up his phone. He called the engineer. He said, "Hello, come to my office." He said, "Just answer this question." So what that means, he's surrounded with a good team. He's not no one. And that's something I see Voltosha has. He's humble enough to say, "Hey, I have to reach out to this group or XYZ." And he even, at the point that if you have idea, he said, you know, you could, Voltosha, can we do this? Even in the chat, I have seen folks give ideas. So that tells me that he don't have that ego.
Yeah.
Kira, you've been in corporate America, so sorry that picking on you because there's a lot of things I know that sometimes even in corporate America you see just because of someone's position they may not know what they're doing with a specific area, but just because they're the boss they want to say, "Hey, no, it's going to be this way."
They're not willing to admit that, "Hey, I don't know this, but I know how to get the answer." Right?
Exactly.
And they, that's a good leader, is knowing how to lead, and then knowing where your weaknesses are and supplementing your team with people that can fill those weaknesses, and being humble enough to say, these are my people, right? So
yeah. And that's the reason why I said I sleep good at night. This is the best project I see right now out there. I mean, hands down. Nothing is perfect, but personally, I think this is we in the right time, right project. We just have to sit tight, hang on. Now we know Voltosh is going to deliver.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know that.
Just a matter of hanging on, like you said. And I don't understand how there's still doubters out there, right? Again, you keep picking on me because of corporate America, but my corporate America background has taught me, like, he's delivered. I'm not going to walk away now, right? You don't walk away from like something that's been delivering and this entire time, and
like 100%, like over 100%,
yeah,
like beyond. So what is
not just deliver? He's over delivering,
right? And
there's a lot of things
crazy
that we didn't expect. Yeah.
And
one of the things that I think is to me personally is very important is your word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You could write a blank check and say, "Here it is." Why? Because that person is honoring their word.
That's right.
And one of the most, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's the only dev I have heard since I've been in this crypto world that does not give dates and promise all these different things is Voltosh. But guess what? He delivered more than all of those who say, "Hey, this date, XYZ time, at this hour, we're going to do this." Then it comes and like, "Oops, sorry, we got to change." Or, 1,000,001 excuses.
Right.
So when you say that, what do you put out today? He says only hours or days away.
Yeah,
so you know that it's gonna. Yeah, you know that it's gonna happen, right? If he's that confident that he's willing to say a range, I think it's definitely gonna happen.
I think it's definitely gonna happen too, Kira.
No, Ladybug. by see how Botoshi moves, when he said what he said today, that's pretty much that is already set in stone in the back office. So there's no, everything is set already. Just to press the button, pretty much.
Oh, I'm excited. I mean, I don't know what's coming, but for the little bit that I feel like I know, it's ridiculous.
I mean, we know the card's coming, right? We know the card and we know Steam. Those are the two things we know are going to come in the next 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, for sure. Then Pablo's going to do his hair pink.
Hey, we never know. We have 3 days.
Yeah.
He said hours, days away. I'm keeping hope alive for Pablo, but he said
one thing I've seen,
going to do it. So
one thing I've seen in this crypto world is that thing could flip in matter of hours.
I was just going to say, days is like years in the crypto market, right?
Yeah.
That's
something
true,
you should drop tomorrow, Thursday, and boom. Wouldn't that be nice?
I mean, bullish.
It would.
It'll be all of it's bullish. So I'm just sitting back and enjoying the ride, because to watch it unfold in front of us is really crazy, and beginning to now it's just a whole different change. It's just a whole different project. Even though he's been saying it the whole time, it's just you watching it evolve basically into something.
I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat. I just can't type, but I'm reading all those Golf God, Crypto Mama, everyone always supporting Ladybug.
I'll say Izzy. Izzy.
What is Izzy up to?
Izzy.
I need to be on the program when Izzy is there.
Izzy,
Kira, Ale.
You should have come on Thursday, this past Thursday.
Man.
I was there, but I got in late.
Actually, but Kira's topped it off though. She did all of that, but Kira was the show starter.
Actually, I'm gonna have to go. I haven't been able to really watch it, so I'm gonna watch it because I heard Kira was out of the chain. So that's strange. That's a little strange to me.
I just said it too. They like, what did y'all do to Kira? We're like, we ain't do nothing to Kira.
I'm always like this. You guys just look at me. That's your perception of me.
Yeah, there you go. Kira's cool. Oh, it was funny.
Yeah, but I do think that this is a turning point in history. I think we got to sit back, enjoy this moment. It's been over 15 months of seeing the ups, downs, seeing the G's, seeing the everything, little everything. I think one day we'll be able to sit around the fire, tell our grandkids, hopefully, our kids, these stories.
Yeah, that's how we got wealthy, and y'all don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Whichever get out and do something.
You know what's funny, Ladybug? A few days ago, I was just thinking, why is it in the movie? You only see this big portrait in folk house, but only the rich folk. Like, oh, this was grandpa, this is great grandpa, and they go down the line. This was the rich great grandpa. It's like, hey, we need one of those.
That's gonna be the Vault Library, right? You're gonna have
Vault Library, yeah. Actually, that's a good idea, the Vault Library. If Voltosh is listening, that's a good idea.
That's on our roadmap. That's on phase 5, the Vault Library. I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's
No, but we could chip in what you just said. That's a good idea. The memory line. when Ladybug was Ladybug.
Mm-hmm.
And last week Thursday, ladies' night, how Kira went,
I looked up Ripple. I don't know.
What's so funny, Ladybug?
No, you
I
gotta
can't
watch.
read. What
You
is
gotta
that
watch.
funny?
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch
Oh
it.
man,
Even if you just
I
scroll bar and
Oh.
watch. For
that was in just said. What
Kira
did
started our
Jessica
morning
said is going left. It is going left. He says gone left. And he said it's really gone left now. It was funny. I was cracking up. Oh my god. It was so hilarious. Oh
what
man.
you doing, NZ?
You just you need to. She's right with those icons, the emojis.
Okay,
You just need to go look it up. You just need to
so when this finish, I definitely gotta
do
your research. Do your DIY.
I gotta do my ladies' night research.
Even if you just skip to the part where I share my screen, you'll be fine. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that program.
Right. NZ, you're a bad example in the chat, ma'am. Kim.
Kira Ripper, bad combo. What happened
Hey,
with Ripper?
man, hold on, wait a minute.
That's what I'm talking about. We were talking about Ripple alcohol, and I looked it up. It just went downhill from there. I promise you'll know what I'm talking about when you go look it up.
Beaver lumber, Ripples for her pleasure. Oh man.
Anyway.
Okay, so I heard something about no neck. What is that no neck? What was that was all about?
NZ.
No, apparently, Jim M said he doesn't have a neck. So we just
for the purposes of the stream, he doesn't have a neck.
It was just one of those. It was one of those nights.
Yes, it was.
Oh wow! What did I miss?
It was a ladies' night. We needed to relax.
It was
and March bullish.
Yeah, it was.
So we have what, 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days.
So what's your thought on the pink hair or yellow hair? Who you think is gonna have the pink hair? Just philosophy said, do that at my own risk. I'll do it.
Yeah. I think Pablo's, and this isn't a bad thing, and I'm not like, it depends.
You're not fudding.
I'm not fudding. I think Pablo's going to have pink hair. However, a lot can happen in 3 days. I mean, I don't, if Voltoshi just pulls out all these things, rabbits out of hats, and I don't doubt it. I will say I will not be surprised if Jake has yellow hair or green hair. I will not be surprised.
Kira, I would love to see Jake with yellow hair.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's 3 days and he probably thinking, right. Oh yeah, pink hair. The pink hair is closed.
Right.
So I would love to see at the end, sometimes you're playing when as kid, you let your sibling think they're winning. And at the end you just come and close the deal. That would be so beautiful.
Bullish.
Because Pablo did say at one point, he goes, "What's the fun of a bet if you're just going to win it right away?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. He said he's going pink no matter what, but
Oh, that's what he said?
Maybe he changes his mind if he doesn't have to.
Wow. Trust me, I would not paint my hair pink if I don't have to.
See, as a woman, I was asked a whole bunch of follow-up questions that none of you guys bothered to answer. Does it have to be permanent dye? Can it be temporary dye? How long do I have to have it? Can it wash out in 3 washes?
That part. That part. That part.
Did they say how many days that they need to have that pink or yellow hair? Did they say so. 1 day?
I don't know. But see,
nobody see that's men. They just say stuff and they don't put the details in there. The women put the details.
I would say
Okay, time out.
1 week.
Wait, let's clarify this.
That's for real.
Just
We don't
just in
know.
case.
No, I think Voltoshi's going to pull a rabbit out of his hat. It's probably not a rabbit to him. He just knows it, right? He just knows what's coming up. Because he keeps saying any hours. He said earlier hours.
Yeah. I would not doubt it.
But he's also really good at timing.
Yeah.
So he may be like, I don't care who dyes their hair. I have more than my ego or more than whatever. You know what I mean? Like he could just be.
This is entertainment.
Right.
This is
remember he keeps saying Caesar. Remember Caesar?
Caesar's in the chat though.
Remember he said Caesar, like Pueblo. That's what we call him.
Yeah.
Pueblo.
Yeah.
So he may just don't want to see Pueblo in pink here.
I don't know if maybe he's just that mature where he doesn't care and he just knows what's coming and is gonna just release it when it makes sense and he's gonna laugh at either, but both of them. Who knows?
You're right. I think he's gonna make fun of either one.
Yeah.
And I think he would make more fun of Pablo. I think Potosho would make a lot more fun of Pablo. Seeing Pablo in pink here.
But I think he'll probably. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I don't like guessing anymore.
This happens.
Well, we have 3 days. We still have 3 days.
We do.
A lot could happen in 3 days.
A lot could. And usually Monday, the markets on Monday are the opposite of what the rest of the week is doing. So maybe he knew Monday was going to be like with the market and that tomorrow.
Well, why was there something specifically today that made the market do that?
I don't.
I think they said because all the money that the Feds pour into these banks give folk a little sense of little bit security. I don't think so. I just think folk is taking advantage of banks getting a little money. But I do think in these next few days, we're going to see Bitcoin go maybe 28.5. That's my take. 28.5, 29. Folk ain't foolish no more. Folks have seen what happened in 2008. And the same thing is happening in 2023.
So more money coming in. So all right. So what's up with ETH? Is that gonna take off too? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it may hit. I think 17 is a good floor. Hopefully, hit 1900. If Bitcoin takes off, hit 29. I don't see why it can't hit 19. I'm not like a huge chart reader. I just read more the sentiment in the business or how people feel. I'm not going much on chart. That's Pablo and Ozzy forte, not me. But I do think that it could hit 19.
Yeah. Someone mentioned. Sorry, I got someone over here on their tablet. But no, someone mentioned. I was going to mention this too, right? The government sued Binance and CZ, right? But I was even with that. I don't think the market reacted as much as you would think. Like it didn't crash BNB. It didn't do. It didn't.
Why?
When they sued Ripple, it plummeted.
Yeah.
It didn't do that because I think the market's fed up with.
But also too, they said that we only have Binance US, so we don't have. I think it's only 5% of the market. So that's the reason why they said it didn't.
And I think I was reading earlier that most of the folk who sold off in sold uh, their share in uh, Bitcoin was new investors and people who have been holding for the last 3 months, maybe 6 months, but the long-term investors they haven't sold. So
Yeah, because we've been through it. We know it. We know what. You're like, all right, whatever.
yeah. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sign. But I do think that, as I said, folk are more savvy uh, today than they were 2008. So you try to play the same trick from 2008, it ain't gonna work. And folk are seeing clearly that all these CFTC suing CZ, and why now? I mean,
Yeah.
Coinbase. Oh, we thinking we may sue you. It's like, wait a minute, sue me for what? I mean, what is it? What I did? Oh, we may sue you. So and I do think that they're going up to the wrong folk because Coinbase is backed by BlackRock, and BlackRock ain't gonna have that. So I think they just trying to create, throw the rock somewhere else.
Yep. And
Then they
I
keep doing what they're doing.
feel my own opinion. This is my own opinion, but I feel like maybe the Ripple case will be somewhat favorable to the crypto market. I don't think they're going to win like outright. I think there's going to be like split decisions on stuff, but I think it'll be favorable enough where, and I think that they're just now trying to save face and throw stones elsewhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's something coming behind it.
And I do think that, as I said, what they telling us in the media is just few percent of the real problem that's happening. When you look overseas and listen to the news that happening overseas, is real bad. Um, I don't know if you guys mentioned Kenya. The president of Kenya told his constituents, "Hey, pull your money out the bank. We the U.S. dollar."
Yeah, get rid of your U.S. dollars.
It seems like it's over 100 countries is trying to drop the dollar. So some folks say the Great Reset and all of these different things. I
Dollar
don't know
ain't worth
about no
much
Great
anyway.
Reset.
How they trying to drop the dollar? It ain't even
Well,
worth the dollar anyway.
use other currency to do payments.
Let's see.
I heard even Russia. I'm not 100% sure, but one of my neighbor was speaking about it today earlier, and he said, "Yeah, Russia paid off Kenya some billions of dollars, and they pretty much say, hey, we don't want to use the U.S. dollar anymore."
Oh yeah, a whole lot of people are. You are right. A lot of people are using their own money. But to me, when I looked at that, it gave me thoughts that they're ready to create their own currencies. So
Yeah.
that's the type of vibe I got off of that. I mean, our dollar ain't for me. It ain't been worth nothing anyway. So okay, but now it's like there's a new wave of
But
digital.
that's
They want to
back.
be in on it.
Yeah. And that's, I think, that ties in exactly what Voltosh is doing, what Bitcoin is doing. Uh, Visa card, back to that Visa card. That's very, very bullish, very important to me, to us, that Visa card.
No, I
That
agree.
tells us pretty much we don't have to pull out no fiat money, use crypto.
And you don't.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
I
even
think one thing I like what Michael Saylor said. He mentioned a few other renowned uh, financial uh, advisor, whatever, that Bitcoin is not in competition with the dollar. because Bitcoin is not a currency. It's an asset. It's a digital asset. That's what they call it, a digital asset. So that means you're not in war per se with the fiat dollar.
Right.
So that is, you don't want to go to war with the government.
No,
They have
the
the big
government's
guns.
having to come here. The government has to come find us. It is all this is just really going to be interesting when it's all said and done. How they really try, because to me it'll just be an attempt to try to come in somewhere where they know nothing about. Even yeah, it's just. I mean, I know they've got their nice teams, and they've already been working on it and all of that, but still, I just don't. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they look. They can't even figure out what they want crypto to be, right? They're hard and fast that it's a security, right? They keep throwing rules at, oh, you didn't register it as a security, XRP, so now we're suing you. But then you come in and if somebody kind of treats it as a currency, then they come in and slap their hand for that. Okay, well, you just said it was a security, you know what I mean? But then you're going to fine us for it being a currency. Well, now you're going to fine us for being an asset. You're going to pay, capital gains on it like an asset or type.
Yeah,
It's like they're not
clear.
They're not clear, and they're not choosing. They're not drawing a line in the sand to help regulate it. And I will say, this bank crisis, I think, is going to shift focus and push out crypto regulation even further because now they have this mess to clean up, right? And whatever fallout from the banking stuff, I think it's going to be like, look over here and fix this before they can look at crypto regulation. So I think it's going to be a game even longer around. So
someone said they're launching Fed now, their digital coin.
There's so many digital coins being launched. There's one with the Federal Reserve is doing one. I know, the CBDC, whatever it is,
CBDC
with JP Morgan and Ripple in the there's this whole project where there's like 2 or 3 government projects that are putting a digital currency out. It's like, again, who's in charge? Who's gonna run with this? Who's gonna lead it? And who's gonna say this is the one we're going for? Are they gonna have their 5 different digital currencies in the U.S.? I don't know.
So it's like we're gonna have 100 million currencies. Everybody's gonna have their own currency.
Yeah, what we're gonna have to do now?
They're able to.
Right.
I don't remember which company said that they're gonna, start to support these politicians that is favorable to cryptocurrency. That's what we have to do. Hey, you in favor with crypto? Well, we vote for you.
Well, it's the same thing with anything. You need to wait for one regime to die out before, kids now, people in their 20s and 30s are accepting of it. And so when they get to a point where they're now able to be in a position of power, they'll be used to it, right? So it'll be second nature to them and they'll be more accepting of it. At some point, the old regime is going to.
I agree with you. One of the prime example, what you just said, is El Salvador. That president, he's a young president.
Mm-hmm.
But look at Salvador, what he's doing in his country.
A lot of the problems I see is because you have, and I mean, it's natural, right? You just have a generation that's not used to newer technology. They don't understand it. They don't know how to regulate it. They don't, and it's like trying to teach my grandfather the internet. Like he got it, but then he got viruses on his computer, right? It was like, come on.
Yeah.
So,
they're trying to come up with a regulation,
right,
for something they don't understand.
Correct. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. But I do think we are in the right time. Everything is timing, as they said. We're in the right time.
Yeah, you said we're at a pivotal point in history, not only for both Volt and for just general cryptocurrency. So I think Volt's in it at the right time, because if you're on people's minds and on people's tongues as history is changing, you're going to go with it, right? And so if Volt is, people are talking about it at the right time and shift in history, we're going to be brought along with the shift in history. So
yeah. But ladies, I'm sorry, I have to drop off. I gotta go and call my daughter in front of my wife is giving me a sign. So it was.
Thanks for joining, Volcano.
It was a pleasure, and finally, I'm on a Zooming call with Kira. So
nice. Yep. We'll have to do it again. We'll have to do it again when we're a little a little chill.
Let me go and rewatch the
Ladies' Night
first. Ladies' Night. Then I will say,
you're like, I'm all set. I don't know if I want to get back on with her.
No, I don't think so. It's good to have fun. It's good to make money, but it's also good to have fun.
That's all right.
Anyway, good night, ladies.
Good night.
All right,
it was a pleasure. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Like, don't do it.
I was gonna mess with you. You know you said something right. Look, she's like,
don't.
You know you said something right.
Yeah, I think I do. And
you did.
I meant people are talking about it.
But I was like, I
try to be serious.
That was hilarious. I was like, did she? But anyway.
I'm just noticing my shirt matches my R2D2 pillow over there.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, okay. Okay, all right, we vibing.
You force me to go downhill sometimes, you leave.
I did not. That was a serious conversation. It had nothing to do with it. Oh my God. Oh my God, it was funny. I was like, okay, let me stop laughing. Woo! All right, guys. This has been real. Kira, you want to add anything before we leave?
No, I'm afraid to even say anything. No, I'm good.
Woo.
These 3 days, I have a feeling these 3 days are going to be volted. And someone in the chat said they have a gut feeling that he's going to drop something and we'll be in Miami, and that we can have some really volted Miami live sessions. So that'll be fun.
Y'all know
we're all together.
Yeah, you know that'll be going. That'll be a real girl gone wild. Let's go. Y'all guys, thanks for coming. I think I got another one. Y'all already know about Ladies' Night. The special guest, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Special guest.
Do I know about it? Am I supposed to know about it?
I haven't texted you yet. I'm waiting on. Yeah. But anyway, bye-bye. See y'all next time.
Bye.
All right.